So I just recently picked up this Yard Machines big rear wheel lawnmower, and it's got an issue. It seems to be a bit seized up. So what we're going to do first is check the oil, and we're going to pull out the spark plug, make sure that this is not a hydro locking issue. So we're going to pull out the dipstick here. Got oil in it. It's probably low. Yeah, it's barely even showing up on there. So I'd be surprised at this point if it's a hydro locking issue. No, it's already loosened up for me. Plug looks good. Yeah, this thing's seized up. So part two, we're gonna pull the spark plug back out. Spark plug's out. And we're gonna tip the mower over. All this needs to be cleaned off, but I'm not really worried about that yet. What we're gonna do, this is an overhead valve engine, so it makes it a little bit more complicated. I'm gonna spray a bunch of liquid lubricant in here. And we're gonna rotate this blade. So it's unstuck now. So we're going to remove the recoil so we can get to the top bolt, top nut rather. Now we can do a proper compression test. So I'm going to rotate this around a few times with the drill just to kind of shoot some of that lubricant out. So that might give us a, a wet versus dry cylinder reading. And let's give it a whack. At 90 psi. Seems a little low for these. Let's try one more time. Yep, about 90 psi. That might be good enough for it to run. It's definitely freed up now. So I'm about to take the blade off. I'm going to clean this shaft up a bit. It was way easier than I thought it would be. So I'll stick this back on. We'll stick the blade back on just for the time being. Might as well just balance it. You guys don't need to see that part. Just to show you guys how horribly imbalanced this is. Yeah, we need to take some material off of this end. End up sticking a good used blade on there. It'll work fine for this purpose. So now I'm just going to put some oil and then some gas in it. I'm going to mix up 15 ounces or so of 5W30 and then just a little bit of this. It's only about 12 ounces came out, but I think there's still a few more ounces in the mower. So we're just going to put about maybe an ounce or so of this stuff. That might all be that's all that's left. So I need to get a new can of this too. Let that drain in for a second. So about 20 ounces of oil here. Just let that drain in for a bit. right where it should be. So now we're just going to throw some gas in it and stick this rag into the hole right here. See if we can get it to start and run. All right, so let's give her a shot. That's not bad. Sounds good. Doesn't sound like there's any rod knock or anything. So I think the motor's fine. I don't know what caused it to seize up. Maybe it was just run a little bit low on oil. I mean, there was still oil in it. I actually drained it out and it was pitch black and there was a little bit of a shine to it. So likely that means that the rings have worn down a little bit. And as we saw with that 90 PSI, that just seems a little too low for my liking. But hopefully that engine restore will do something. But I'm actually going to run this thing off camera. So I've put about a whole tank of gas through this thing, and now I'm actually pretty curious. I wonder if that engine restore made much of a difference to the rings. Let's take this back off, give it a shot. Let's try it. So just under 120. So it improved it at least 20-25 PSI. I would say that engine restore stuff definitely works. Now I already knew that because I've used it some other things, and seems like it's working good for this application. So I'm gonna have to pull off a part from this. I need this bracket right here. Looks like it's pretty easy to take off. Just like that. Can only go on one way. So now just to stick this thing on. Well, even though it's broken, it's still functional. I just fought with it a little bit to get it put back on. The good thing about these is nobody ever really uses them, at least not around here, unless they put the side chute in, which is again the only thing it's used for. But I just had to bend back this part of the deck because it was shooting out a bit, causing it to go like this. So now that's a pretty good seal. It's not perfect, but it'll definitely function like it should. So that's done. And straight from Amazon, we have a new air filter, which I don't think do I need for this one? Yes, I do. I also need to clean that out, so I'll do that. It's no big deal. And then we have a new gas cap. There we go. Good enough. So now just to clean this off. So the new air filter. We use some 20W50. What I like to do with these is kind of scrunch them up a little bit. And then just, as you guys can see, you just work that little bit of oil. It's only about a teaspoon of oil. We just work it in. So we're ready for install. There we go. Just like that. It's that simple. So now this thing just needs a bath and we'll be done with it.